You're gonna need to tell me when we are live.
Do I have to tell you when we're live, Robbie? Or should I just say, hello and welcome back to Campaign Chit Chat, where we chit and chat about campaigns, not political campaigns, D&D campaigns. We don't talk politics here.
Maybe sometimes.
Sometimes. But welcome. This is the segment, weekly thing that we try to do. Podcast, crunchy ASMR. No, this is where we talk about the previous campaigns of our Roll X Play YouTube/Twitch channel. If you didn't know, we have a YouTube and a Twitch. We stream live on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Tuesday and Sunday in one singular campaign world, separated into two different stories, and Friday in another world, hosted by Robbie. And Wednesdays, you get this.
You get us.
You get us.
Without the characters.
Not always us. Yeah, not always the two of us. Sometimes we'll be like flipped in positions. So sometimes Robbie will be here and I'll be on the other side. Or there'll be more people joining us. But yes.
Or it'll be Frey and Leonie glitching in and out.
That is a classic. That is a classic.
Yep.
Leonie's signal, we pray. One of our players, their Wi-Fi is dog shit. So we kind of hope that it gets better. Because juicy RP moments cannot be had, unfortunately.
It's funny that it happens every time you're about to do a big lore drop or something like that.
Yeah.
Every time you do a big reveal, we just see Leonie go,
I want to.
Oh man.
It's just sad. It's sad. But here we are. We still love Leonie, no matter how shit her internet is. We still love her, and we still hope it gets better. But yes, this is our segment, our weekly segment that we try to have weekly, where you guys can actually ask us questions to learn some more lore, some hidden questions, some hidden parts, some kind of... We're quite open here, I'd say. Anyway, I feel... Robbie's looking at me weirdly, but I don't know about you, Robbie, but I feel like this is... because I don't go to therapy. This is kind of my therapy session.
Yeah, man. I get it. I get that.
This is where I let loose.
See, that makes me worried because of the content you put in the campaign, if that's your therapy. Is there anything you want to tell us, Max?
Sometimes when you're creating evil NPCs, you have to research some strange things. I've read some books on psychopaths in the past, getting nitty and gritty in how they think, how they perceive the world. They're not so neurodivergent, but how different they are in comparison to the regular person, and why they become serial killers and psychopaths. So yeah, I feel like I need to get some of that off my chest. So
well,
here we are.
To be fair, as an artist, I relate because I sometimes have to look up shit that probably put me on some
the
kind
anatomy. Yeah.
It's not even anatomy. It's just like, I mean, I don't know if you would count like scars as anatomy or something like that. How the fuck do I know how this specific type of scar looks like? Or looking up how weapons look like, and then like the specific, and somebody's gonna think I'm fucking gonna try to buy a 9mm. It's like, no, I just need it for a cool character.
Well, sometimes in like your D&D settings, sometimes you have to add some like realism to it. So maybe if there is like talk of some sort of isotope that can maybe create a nuclear weapon, sometimes you're kind of like, how does that work? What do you need to create nuclear fusion? Let me Google this 1 sec. And then you are on a list, as you said, just completely forever. You try and fly to America. America goes, sorry, you can't come into our borders, but I haven't done anything wrong. You have. Here's your search history. Forget about the porn. This shit's even worse.
Yeah. I mean, your research really weird things when you're world building, and then you look back probably the next day and you're like, what the fuck?
Yes, yeah. I have to deep clean my history every day.
Jeez.
But
But
enough about that. We're here to talk about campaigns, stories. So
yes.
if you're in chat, send us some messages. We'll answer them. Any questions you have in terms of being a player, creating D&D settings, if you want advice, we're here to help. I don't know if it's
As
help.
best as we can.
Yes, exactly. We're going to do our best.
Exactly.
Going to do our best. We both have quite a lot of experience when it comes to playing TTRPGs. I specifically am just D&D, 5e to be specific, but Robbie, you know a bit more about the TTRPG
Yeah.
space.
The other two I played.
The other two games, but you research others and read
Yes, I
books.
have.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many that I want to try out, but getting people to play them is very difficult because D&D is very familiar to them, and then anything other
Yes.
than it's like, and it's like, it's okay, you have 4 stats, I promise. Like, one of the easiest ones to get people into was like Monster Hearts, especially with like my group of friends, because it's like more modern times. It's like it's essentially like horny teenagers that are secretly monsters. So easy enough concept to understand. The stats are very simple. There's not much math.
Yeah.
There's not like it's not a lot of focus on like
The math.
mechanics essentially.
You sold
The
it.
mechanics are very RP based and combat.
When
So
you said no math, you sold it to me straight away, Robbie. Instant.
we can play it sometime, man. We'll see.
After the last few Tuesday sessions, oh my god, I don't want to roll dice ever again.
My brain
So
hurts,
much,
man.
so
But
much.
yeah, it kind of reads as like those like Stranger Things, Stephen King type of vibe to it. So it's like some horror supernatural elements to it. It's
Mhm.
pretty cool. I
And you're
suggest
like a
people.
group of best friends trying to.
No,
Oh.
the whole point is
No.
to be fucking messy as hell.
Oh
Uh,
shit.
yeah.
So not very Stranger Things, more.
Well,
Hmm,
think like Stranger Things meets Mean Girls and Heathers,
okay.
something like that. Because you have they're called skins in Monster Hearts, which are kind of like classes and race at the same time. You don't pick anything else. So you have like vampires, werewolves, witch, but then you have like queen, which is kind
Okay.
of like the queen bee, mean girl,
Hmm.
popular, stuff like that. But they're also meant to be like metaphors for stuff. Like witches are meant to like represent kleptomaniacs, vampires are like toxic, manipulative people. But in this game they are actually those things, but metaphors, whatever. You have like infernal, which is similar to warlocks, ghosts, and people made like a ton of custom ones. My favorite one was the Selkie, which is a really cool one.
Hmm. What's a
You know,
Selkie?
you don't know. It's essentially it's similar to a mermaid, but they look like seals and they can take off their coat to turn into humans. And if somebody steals away their coat, they cannot come back to water, and they essentially kind of own them, which is problematic, but it was, at the time being, it's like old, I believe, Irish folklore.
Okay.
Um, with women being kind of held captive in marriages they didn't want, etc., etc.
I can't wait to play this.
I mean, that's just like the original lore. In the game, you have different abilities, but yeah. The whole
Okay.
point is that
Okay.
they have their like coat thing that
Can
can
I?
turn them.
Is one of the abilities being owned by someone else? Can I? Can I be
No.
owned?
I
Hmm.
think if somebody has your code, they have like advantages to make rolls against you. The
Okay.
thing you mechanic that's cool is it's called strings. And it's
Hmm.
kind of almost like what you have for Alicia and Ulrin. but essentially you
Okay.
can have strings on someone. Uh, for example, maybe you use a move that's called shut them down, where you like, in front of people, you tell them to fuck off, you somehow humiliate them, and you gain a
Mm-hmm.
string on them that you can later use to
Mm-hmm.
add onto a roll against them, because you have like
Okay.
something, like you're holding it over their head, like an
Yeah.
advantage of something.
Like an omen or something along those lines. Like it's something that is focused on them that isn't physical, but you can use it
Yeah,
to
like a
cause bad
mental
luck.
advantage. It can be physical sometimes. Like witches
Okay.
have tokens that they can collect from people, like trinkets or a lock of their hair or some shit like that. I
Their
mean, you
blood.
also have unicorns, but they're all about like essentially like toxic purity, like, ugh, this is all beneath me type of character.
Are they like when you say unicorns, I'm picturing all of these creatures or characters are bipedal.
Yeah, so they are all humanoid.
Okay. So
Uh
very BoJack Horseman sort of like people walking
no,
around.
you look human,
Okay.
like a normal human. The whole point is like you're hiding the fact that you are this monster thing in a normal school.
Okay. Okay. Understood. Understood. Interesting concept for sure. But very specific. Very catered to a certain audience, I'd say.
And it's me, I am the
It's
audience.
you, Robbie. It's you.
And my friends, yeah.
This is why you love it so much. You're just like, oh
I
my
mean,
god.
every single skin has I forget what it's called, but it's basically kind of like going over the edge, like Darkest Self, that's what it's called.
Okay.
And it's basically you can activate it, but it can happen in certain times, like dropping to zero. So instead of dying, you can choose to go into your darkest self, which is
Hmm.
essentially the worst part of you coming out.
Do you become more monstrous in that instance then? You become more of the monster that you are?
Yeah,
Or
essentially. Like werewolves
okay.
will do their like full transformation thing. They
Hmm.
are violent. Vampires like treat everyone as their plaything, zero empathy. But there are things people can do to get you out of the darkest stuff. Like for vampires, I'm pretty sure it's like somebody puts you in your fucking place. Well, like,
Why
it's
are you
like,
being so extra, you extra bastard? Just chill. Just
yeah.
chill. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I mean, you have ghosts who, for example, they become invisible to everyone in their darkest self, like nobody can see them.
Okay.
But there's also the like poltergeist type of it where they like create a mess just to be seen. And it's
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
until somebody does actually see them, understand them, that they can leave that state. Can
Interesting.
It's very RP based.
Is there any other system like that? Or was that quite unique in that instance?
Well, the rolling system is powered by the apocalypse, which is the 2d6 that you roll.
Yeah.
So everything below a 6 is a failure, 7 to 9 is partial success, and then 10 up is success.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
like Glitter Hearts also uses that, but they have different mechanics as well. But they have the mechanics of moves instead of like how D&D has spells and um actions and bonus
Like
actions and
the whole
items.
economy that they have. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. We'll have to maybe give that a try one day.
Oh
Maybe see
yeah.
what we can do.
I am
Have
very
you
to tempt
have you actually ran a game?
of Monster Hearts?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few actually. Well, mostly
Okay.
one shots or two shots, but yeah.
Okay. Maybe we can do that for some sort of like Halloween sort of.
It very much fits Halloween, yeah.
So we could do
Could do,
something.
could do.
Rather than a fucking horror one shot. It's just a chill monster sort of
Well,
vibe.
I never made them to be chill, to be fair.
Oh fuck.
I
Okay.
mean, it's a little scary, but it's not like anything too bad.
All right. Fair. Fair.
Yeah. I'm very tempted to try Dagger Hearts, which is the critical role thing they did, purely
Yeah.
because it has cards in it. That they showed me cards, I was sold. You know how people collect dice or like rocks or whatever? I am a goblin in a sense that I collect cards. I see a pretty card, I want it. It's mine.
Is it any card, or is it just tarot cards specifically that you are like hooked on?
I so not just tarot cards, I have oracle cards, which is similar, but not.
Okay. But they have
Because
mystical meaning, so not like your classic poker hand cards, for example.
well, I do like to find nicer, like normal deck of cards as well, but
How
it's kind of
many
hard to
sets of
find.
cards do you have?
You don't want to know.
I want to know.
They're not here now. I can count them, but like I can. Okay, I have like 4 different tarot decks. We'll say
Are they thick ones as well? Are they like the
they're not.
proper?
I mean, the 78 cards. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 oracle decks.
That means you have 10.
But not all of them were bought by me. Some were gifts. So
Okay.
it's like that time in high school. I started really liking like scented candles, and then people saw that and they kept buying me scented candles and kept buying. And I'm like, guys, I can't burn through them all. But then feel, oh, you have so many scented candles. They must love scented candles. Let's get them more. No, stop.
Minimalism. Then no one knows what you like. Perfect way to live your life. Just don't have anything. Don't own anything.
Hot take, I fucking hate minimalism.
Dun dun dun. I don't think that's a hot take at all.
Fair enough. I know some people will come for me for that, but like, like all the minimalist, like pure white, fucking flats, like decorated with grays and white. I'm like, that's so boring. It looks like a hospital. It doesn't look clean. It just looks unlived in.
Well, most of those people are ready to die in that place, so they're kind of just set there for life. They're preparing for the living and the death.
Jesus Christ.
The in-between.
When I die, I'm gonna make it like a whole sending out my grandchildren on a grand quest to find my fortune in a backwaters cave type of thing.
And when you mean fortune, you mean your 10 deck of oracle cards.
And I'll specify that they have actual magical powers just to fuck with them. And it'll say like, if you are worthy, they will activate, and then they'll know that they'll never be worthy. No.
But it has to be you're worthy in a specific language that's long forgotten, and then you make up your own language to go with it. You have to keep the con going, Robbie. You got to keep elevating it.
It has
as
to be
time
like
goes
a
on.
year-long, multiple years long treasure hunt.
Yeah. To find some cards.
They find a chest and there's like a note that says, haha, got you suckers, winky face.
Well, that's one way to have your gravestone destroyed and
We'll see.
Instant.
We'll see. Well, I'll be dead, so I won't give a shit.
Or what could be funny is if in the treasure chest there's a Ouija board, and then they have to communicate to you to try and get the final answer to the question, but you've like programmed it with like magnets underneath to just say "fuck you, dweeb."
Every time somebody mentions the Ouija board, I just remember that one clip, the famous one from Phasmophobia.
Okay.
How did you die? How many pickles can you shove up your ass? 9, 99, 901.
Okay, I remember seeing this. Okay, I was gonna say I'm too old for this, but no.
No, it's a classic.
The meme culture has bled through into my my era. Very good. Yeah. I'm glad to know I'm still down with the kids.
Than me. Shut up.
Robbie, my tastes and sensibilities of a higher level. I'm sorry. I just can't.
Oh, my bad.
I don't associate with you anymore.
Oh, shit. No, the other day I was at a party and they said like, oh, you know, I'm kind of chopped in this picture. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? You all are finding different words to say I look
Mm.
bad. Like, just say it normally. I'm getting
What
too
hap-
old for this shit.
What happened to I look like shit? What happened to that? Why do people have to
Straight
say,
to the point,
"Damn,
you know?
bro, I fell off. Shit, my Riz, it's gone down by 50,000. Oh my god."
Your
It's like,
aura points are down.
why? What happened to the regular vocabulary? Why can't we
We
just
sound
use
like
our word?
boomers right now.
Maybe in chat people can agree with us. Send us
Yeah,
messages.
support our Delulus, guys.
Support
Copium.
our rights. Tell us our wrongs. Tell us. Tell us.
Quote, quote that, quote that. But to get back to the theme of campaigns,
What? Is that
uh,
why we're here? Oh, wait, yeah. So
yeah,
that's what it
right
says.
there, up there.
Oh.
Uh, did anything like how do you go about building the different devils that we're gonna deal with?
The
I mean, you don't have to
demons.
tell me about.
Demons.
Yeah, demons. Sorry.
Um, I kind of drew a line and went
Mhm.
this order. No. When it comes
I
to the
meant
demons
like,
themselves, I know in terms of what they can do and what they
yeah, yeah,
have to
yeah.
offer. You'll see. You'll see. There's a bit of a mix of different things that I've gone for.
Mhm.
With the first set of demons that you've had, the whole premise was you'd be fighting one demon, right? Every time you're fighting one demon out of like 11. But one of the curveballs was going to be that one of them is actually split into two. So you have to face two demons in one instance.
Mhm.
Because they were the weakest, they were the first to kind of like go up against.
That was the
Um,
weakest. Gulp.
um, separated them, they're much weaker for sure. If they were joined as one, then maybe they were higher in the pegging order, but no. What I try to do is touch different themes, whether it's emotional themes, whether it's kind of existential, who they think they are, complex narcissism, everything kind of like intertwines with these creatures because they are like built on rage and emotion. They are gods, but they are untrained, unleashed gods that don't have a kind of moral compass to pull back. So they're basically children
Mm,
who think they are better than they perhaps are, or deserve better.
mm.
And thus that gives them complexes and they see the world differently. So with each one, I've tried to go for a different sort of fighting style or way of um, being a nuisance for you guys. Each one has their own unique set of abilities and so on and so forth. The current guys that you're fighting against, they are pretty much the kind of like average, I'd say.
Yeah.
They are what you kind of expect the demon to be in terms of like bulky, strong. If they were together, they'd be physically a threat and also a spellcaster threat, so they can like manipulate the battlefield, but also take on individual threats. Whereas different ones are going to do different things. Some of them are going to be much better at kind of commanding the battlefield. Some of them are going to be less combat and more complete social. Some won't even be able to kind of like lift the weapon. Some will just be using their words, for example. So I've
Mm.
tried to make each one an individual and unique. I try not to overlap on things that have already been done in media, but that's
Mm.
almost impossible at this
Yeah.
point because media is almost infinite. So it's just putting a new spin on a certain archetype. And
I'm
there's
surprised you
certainly some
didn't
weird
like
ones.
go with the whole seven deadly sins.
Yeah.
I mean, you might have, and I'm not aware of it. Maybe some of the like top seven are the seven deadly sins, but
Perhaps,
whatever.
perhaps. That has been done quite a lot though, so I kind do something else. We'll see. The thing is, I
Yeah.
want to leave the sin side of things more to the devils,
Makes
and that be
sense. Yeah.
their thing. Um,
Got you.
because in each level of the nine hells, they each represent something specific when it comes to uh, the human condition and the lengths that people will go to get something that they desire or want or need.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, the demons are an offspray of that, but also just yeah, just general things. They each have grown and become their own people. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see how they go. the unique abilities, one of them, which I can tease slightly,
Okay.
is they are called Ickold the Forgettable. And that's because everyone forgets about them.
Oh,
That's kind of like their ability. You see
that's
them,
kind of sad.
their name is mentioned. Yeah, it is. But like the next day, you're gonna forget. No matter how much you kind of focus on it. So they are almost the demon that represents loneliness to some degree, right? So it's not necessarily an emotion. It's not necessarily like something specific that you can point towards, but they encompass this theme of belonging, that they have never
We defeat
belonged.
them. Do we defeat them with friendship and hugs?
With friendship, well, you probably just forget them again anyway at the end of the day, because that's almost an impossibility to go over. But yeah,
But what if
it's
we
kind
write
of
it down?
things like that. If you write it down, it still gets forgotten.
Well, I can read it again, pull
Press
a hunter,
placed. Okay, chill. Chill, stop breaking my law. But yeah, there's that sort of thing, just trying to touch on things that are a little bit weird, a little bit different, and that can be quite fun for you guys as players to interact with, that are a little bit outside of the box to try and like think around, right? How do you fight someone that you constantly forget their weaknesses or who they are even? Like, how do you even combat something like that? So if you ever do come across them, if you ever do fight them, I'm not saying it's anytime soon, but that is just one of the demons that exist in the world. How will you face off against that? And I don't know the answer to that. And that's for you guys to find out. I come up with a question and
by breaking the system.
stop, no, breaking my system. Well, actually, please do.
We
I will,
teleport to a different time zone and then we have more time before the day ends.
Okay. That's how it works. Sure. It's built, you just always follow the sun. Never leave the sun.
Yeah. And we drag
Constantly.
us just, you're not going anywhere.
It's like
You're
constantly
never
running after
seeing
it.
the sun down. Let's go.
No, let me be forgotten. No, I love you. You will.
You don't get to be depressed, bitch. We're going.
Get him in the car. We're going. No, please.
Get in, loser. We're going shopping.
Stop. But yeah, that's kind of the way I go about it. So that's what you have to expect later on. That'll be year 5 of the campaign.
I mean, I find the first demon that we fought very interesting. I'm sad we didn't get to like interact with them more before we beat the living shit out of them.
Yeah.
However, I think that would pose a great risk to us. So
true.
One thing
I will say is the first demon you guys fought, first half, they can't speak.
Yeah, I assumed.
They are literally a dog. They're kind of like, they just act on instinct, not tactical at all. They're just going to punch and the first thing they see, and that's pretty much them. So yeah, you could have tried to do something for sure. Easier to maybe persuade and trick, but you guys were bunkered down in a good spot. The thing is, the way that the encounters could have gone, I keep saying this like after every session that we have with the combat counters, because the whole situation of you guys might not have ended up in the central spire, you guys might not have split up from camp. Like the whole path that you guys took was of your own like fruition, your own like choosing, and then that just led to these circumstances playing out. Because in my head, I was like, okay, what we're gonna have is maybe they're split at one point, and then the fights are going to take place simultaneously, and then the demons are going to retreat at some point to regather their strength because they know together they are stronger, and then you have to all fight the demon as one, all fucking NPCs and PCs in one massive fucking
that would have been
combat.
such a fucking pain, man.
Oh yeah, it would have been. It would have been all very taxing.
Separately, because my brain would have been broken. You would have asked me a question after the session, I'd just be The
way the combat would have worked as well would have been the two demons have their own initiatives, but when they combine as one, they act as both characters in the one initiative, both characters in the next initiative.
Oh my god.
So they'll be attacking, casting spells, doing their special abilities, and then doing it again on the second initiative in one round. It would have been quite fucked. But at that point, it would have been 1 versus like 10, 12 of you, however many. So it would have balanced
but
out.
Then also Warforged would have been there, so
yeah, but you could have like disabled and stuff. Like there was a lot of things. You made it quite quickly to the disabling the wolf part. So
now we just need to survive for 2 rounds.
2 more rounds.
We got this. Well, the good thing is that Alicia is there, and he has a lot of tools for like not taking damage, but like basically I'm gonna use fucking video game appealing, essentially, which like shielding and taking the damage, like basically denying the damage, not from it happening, but just absorbing it with like shields or temporary HP and stuff. So he's a pretty good support.
It's true. He's got a good kit. His HP is just dog shit.
Yeah, so. It is. And his con.
The con, my god. You legend. You legend for going that low on your con. I love it.
Hey, I rolled, so you know.
I love it. I love it. When Robbie came with the character sheet, I was like, oh my god, this is going to be amazing.
That's why he's kind of good at everything else.
Yeah. When you dump your con, you got to be better at some like actual stat shit, so.
Like, to be honest, his strength shouldn't be that high, but...
Fuck it.
You know, we're taking it for the armor requirements.
Very true. And to be fair, he has a lot of kit items and stuff that help him compensate for his lack of HP, so...
Which good. I need to remember that I have a +1 to all my saving throws because of the river blue cloak that I keep forgetting because I don't know how to implement that, so...
We need like a fucking class on Forge and how to do things.
Yeah, we do. I'm sure there's a YouTube tutorial out there, but my god.
We should ask him directly to just like, because Leonie has messaged him back and forth a few times to just like help us out. We're like, yo guys, help a brother out. How do we do this?
Help.
How do we do custom things? We need it. I
did have a friend who really understood how all that works and like macros specifically made for Foundry, but I kind of lost contact with them, so dang it.
People who can do that, I fucking hands up, because Jesus Christ. I get confused looking at my keyboard, and that's in letters I understand, let alone code. How am I going to do that? No idea. But talk about
code, but
talking about the kind of combats that we've had with demons and stuff. What was the concept that you had for the creature that we fought in your Friday campaign? What was the concept? It was they consume the shadows of people. They are scared of the light, and they are trapped in.
So
created in a cave, essentially. Summoned.
I believe I told you guys that it is an actual mythological being in Slavic folklore.
That's right.
Called Taliesin.
One that kind of like is in homes or something, is like placed
not necessarily in homes, but in the original myths, it was said that it existed in structures that were being still built, and it was summoned by people who were building them. You know, people would like stand, look up at the build, look at the progress, and then during that, the architects were like, go up, measure their shadow, and by doing that, steal it to feed this thing. So that was like, they weren't like harmless, but there definitely were kind of maybe a metaphor for depression or like illnesses that kill people over a long period of time, like suck them dry essentially. The whole you having a shadow, like a physical shadow, and then Sen being like your soul's shadow was
Hmm.
from the actual like Slavic mythology stuff that I didn't, because I thought that was very interesting. Then we have
Okay.
the physical shadow of ourselves, and then you have essentially like your soul's version of that, and you can't
But
exist without it.
so the creation of that thing, we don't know how it was
Mhm.
made yet.
Yeah.
Placed there by the cultists that are there.
Well, you kind of
Why?
do.
Yeah, we kind of do.
Rune.
But why was it in a cave? Just because to keep it like hidden from sight, or what's the reasoning
Well,
behind it being there? Is there like actual lore reason why it was in a dark, dingy fucking cave surrounded by
maybe because the
torches
cave
that
is
could
right
contain it?
underneath something.
Okay, interesting.
If you remember one detail
Hmm.
that you guys saw, that you and Helio saw.
At the entranceway,
No, previously.
the
That same
vines and
day.
shit.
Not in the cave at all, in town.
Yeah, yeah, the vines and shit that were corroding.
Flowers, but yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Interesting. Do the flowers have shadows?
You didn't check?
Guys, chat. I need to check every shadow. Every shadow needs to be checked and verified. I see I have a
um
shadow.
I
That's good.
can I can give you a little info because it's not important now because you guys killed it.
Well,
Um
is this a creature that's one and done? Or are we going to see it again at some point?
no, I don't think so.
Okay.
It's not even related to it necessarily, but um it was kind of hinted at throughout the past 3 sessions that the
Hmm.
creature can only move through the shadow.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh Technically it can only move through the shadow of the building that it's tied to, the place that it's tied to.
Yes.
Um the church, the little temple,
Hmm.
is in the middle of the entire town on a hill.
Okay.
So that means that the shadow of that building on both sunrise and sunset is gonna reach furthest to most of the parts of the town.
Hmm. Like a sundial.
Yeah, essentially.
Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. 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 Where are my notes? Where are my notes? Start writing down.
That was kind of
Um.
the whole thing.
Mhm.
Because it's also been hinted at that people can't really see this thing.
Yes, I remember that. And the only reason we can see it. Oh, hold on. I did. Yes. I have not. You may as well check it now. Interesting.
I couldn't hear what the other person was saying, but
No, that's all right. No, that was just my landlord, aka my father.
my landlord.
um, here's a question about the character that you made, in terms of the monster. Are there
Yeah.
any secret stats that we didn't see about it? Because sometimes, like when you're a DM, you create a fucking huge character sheet for a monster, or you make it with a specific goal in mind, but then it just like gets disabled and you never see it.
Nope, it had 2 abilities. That's
Okay,
it.
we saw it all. Excellent, excellent.
I
We're not
mean, you
missing out.
guys are like level 3. I'm not gonna throw fucking Armageddon the Third, Destroyer of Worlds at you, you know?
Well, I don't know about that. You might.
Now, you would do that probably, but no, I like to keep it simple, especially because, we have new players and stuff, so I
Hmm.
don't wanna make them too overwhelmed in the
Sure.
first couple of combats. Keep it simple.
Hmm. Hmm.
However, when you reach level 6, no mercy.
Oh.
Beep.
No. Did we level up? Yes, we did, right?
Yes, you did. You did.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember my con now being 20. Jesus.
Nice.
Jesus
Gonna be a
Christ.
tanky boy.
Yeah, well, with the bravado that Gerard has, kind of needs it. Because he's just going to walk up to Danger and go, you're no match for me.
You can't hit me.
Coughs up his lung. My God, you can. That's my lung and my teeth.
Jeez.
Someone put it back in. But take the teeth out.
Poor grandpa.
Poor Gramps. He's only 40. Poor fucker.
Yeah. He's got a long way to go. More of this bullshit.
Yeah, yeah. And now he's supposed to be the dad of the group. Excellent stuff. I can't wait to be
Resident dad.
a father. Great. I'm a dad
To
3
think of it
lovely
as
children.
practice, you know.
Practice?
I
Practice
mean,
for what?
I don't know. Are you gonna have kids later?
In game?
In real life, you
Maybe
don't.
Gerard has kids out there. Maybe
Oh, yo,
I have kids out
damn.
there. Oh, jeez.
Deadbeat dad. Holy moly.
He, well, if he doesn't know, what can he do? Poor guy. He's the one we should feel bad for.
Yeah, totally. Not the kids with the deadbeat dad.
No, no.
Jesus.
They're alive because of him.
I put you into this world and I can take you out of it as sentence. What the fuck?
Oh, Jesus. I am quite curious to see what your plans are with the campaign as a whole, because it is a shorter campaign, which we might extend later, depending on everyone's availability and how everyone feels when we reach the conclusion of this arc. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how it all develops and how interweave the hag stories, because that is the crux of it. Because for those unaware, the whole premise of the campaign from the player's side in terms of character creation was to have some sort of connection to the hag and have a story related to the hag, what the hag may have given or taken away, or the reason you were involved with this very sneaky, tricky sort of character. Very
it's
fey. Very fey. So yeah, we've all come up with something. Robbie knows everyone's.
Yep.
I can kind of see the lines for where others are going. Some people have let it slip some things quite soon already, so it's
and
very
some
interesting.
of them you guessed.
I don't know if people know what Gerard's is yet.
No, I don't think so.
There's a lot of red herrings out there, so it's yeah, interesting.
Very interesting.
We'll have to see how it develops.
I also started thinking about other regions outside of the current kingdom you're in, and
nice.
If we continue the campaign, you might see them. Who knows?
We're gonna TPK before then. It's fine.
No.
We just start fresh in that continent. That'll work.
The continent you're on right now is really big, so with lots of different places.
If we were to like beeline our way to the hag, wherever they may be, how long will it take? I know they're in the like magical forest and shit, but like how long?
So
roughly.
You probably couldn't because of a certain prerequisite you would need to have to go.
Yeah.
But if we're just speaking physically, like if you did have the prerequisite and gunned it to her, from where you are now, are we taking into account things you could encounter on the way there, or just like straight beeline, ignoring everything that's
we'll say beeline, everything goes perfectly. How long?
20 days. Just because of
Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna pack some supplies.
just because like of the terrain and what beelining through it means.
Interesting. I'm also very curious to see if we'll run into any like rebellion stuff, like the whole Minotaur rebellion, because it's already been hinted at that they're making moves, and I don't know. I don't know if the other players, their characters more specifically, would be pro rebellion. I think they're a bit anarchy, just like fringes of society. They don't give a shit what's going on. That's my general feel for it.
Well,
I know how Gerard feels about it. I think he's been vocal, but
yeah.
everyone else, I don't know.
I mean, also, you know, it takes a while for your characters to, and as you as players to understand what the situation is like. Obviously, your characters would know, but you as players haven't technically experienced it yet. You will at some point. Either you will see the consequences of it, or you'll hear about it because it's a thing that is happening in the world. So it's bound to be talked about.
One thing I'd love to see is, and I feel like this is a point in the stories about like rebellion versus a major power, is the rebellion having to get dirty with it, like having to do like some maybe more questionable things to get the job done or to send a message. I wonder if we'll come across any of those sorts of topics where perhaps the rebellion, even though they are the good from our POV, maybe they have to do some shady things to get the job done, to align more people into their favor. More trickery, more kind of like deceiving, perhaps, rather than just being this, we are nobility, we are the White Wolves, or whatever the fucking names were.
White Wolf Guard, yes.
Yes.
And the Crown Prince.
Rather than just being this kind of like noble, very, we are for what is right in the world. No, let's see him get dirty as well. I'd love to see that.
I mean, there's nothing, well, in my opinion, noble about war.
No, for sure. People have a
like,
perspective of it. Like they're doing the right thing. Like they're doing their duty. Like that sort of thing. That's how they kind of just say, yeah.
Justify it, yeah.
Yeah.
To me, like, often in video games, especially if it's like medieval times and stuff like that, people in their stories would try to like glorify war, kind of make it an epic battle and all of that stuff. But rarely do you see like it show the consequences, like actual historically accurate consequences of war, what it does to civilians, not just on the front lines. We talked about it, and I know you don't like gachas, but Wuthering Waves. Listen, okay. There is an
Should I change the topic on
war.
Twitch?
No, you don't have to. There's an active war, quote unquote, happening in that game. And it makes it very clear what are the consequences of that happening. Because it's all kind of war, kind of like apocalyptic type of thing, because they're fighting against monsters and a certain organization that is supporting the end of the world slash these monsters.
Yeah.
You know, it's like soldiers who are not being able to go home, overworked, civilians who have lost their family members, how it affected their mental health, like soldiers and how it affected their mental health, normal civilians, all of that stuff. And I think it's a much more interesting thing to explore than just, go men into battle, yes, for glory of our nation. What?
Yeah, I'd agree. There's currently a show, Star Wars show called Andor, which is streaming, They show the elements of the rebellion before the films, the like main series original films, and how it kind of like started, the people that they're basically the unsung heroes of why it kind of like came to. You get all of these side characters that you never see later because they all like die or whatever. But it just goes to show you that like the nitty gritty, the pre, the post, the filming of it is very good because it shines a light on. Because everyone who looks at like Star Wars, they go, "Oh my god, the Empire, red lightsabers, it's so cool. The aesthetic, it's so cool." But they're fascists. They're not to be praised. Like it's, I guess, in a medium where it's kind of like make believe and it's kind of like in awe of the storytelling and whatever. Yeah, sure, you can kind of like them and kind of like dress up as them, whatever. It's fine. It's excusable. But yeah, seeing from that show the direction that Tony Gilroy, the guy who created the show, kind of like took with it, the shots. There was an episode recently in season 2. I won't spoil it, but it is very a realistic depiction of how a powerful body will use the people as a weapon, manipulate them in a certain way to cause them to act out, and thus allows them to do whatever they wish because they can explain it away as it's their fault. It's their fault that this has happened. And they forced our hand, and unfortunately for everyone else in the world, this will happen to you as well if you were to follow the same fate as these guys.
That sounds awfully similar to a situation here.
Yep. But we don't get political on this podcast,
totally
on this chit chat. Oh.
I mean, what was that quote? Like, all art is political.
Yeah, everything makes a statement, no matter what you're doing. If what you're wearing makes a statement, how you have your hair makes a statement, like all of these things, you are a walking like embodiment of something, right? You have something to talk about. You have something to say.
Yeah.
Your personality is on show.
Unfortunately, media literacy is dead because it's crazy to me how people like idolize. I think the main example people use is like Luffy from One Piece, and then like they're transphobic or homophobic. Like, did you watch the show? Did you watch it? Because Luffy would probably beat your stupid ass for that shit.
I've never seen One Piece. I heard the Netflix is good though. Should I watch that?
And I think for live adaptations, from what I've heard, people are generally fine with it.
Should I also watch the Cowboy Bebop one while I'm at it as well?
Oh, I don't know about that one. I never watched Cowboy Bebop. I didn't hear good things though. I just think in general people should stop making live action versions of animes like that. Where
I think what they should do to bounce on this, I think they should make remakes of bad things. Don't make remakes of like good things, because why are you remaking something that's
it's good already? Stop.
If there's something shit, remake it. Try and make it better. Don't redo something that was already good. That's pointless. Fucking pointless.
Yep. And I
we have a vault of like media. Just let it be. Come up with something else.
I mean, I get doing like maybe if it's like a high school drama or like romance, doing that in live action, I can see it. But if it's like a super action based with magical abilities type of thing, why? What what does it add? It
or something that's highly animated, like putting it into live action just doesn't work. Like for the most part, there maybe is an exception there that I don't know. But when you look at like The Lion King, it's not live action, but they try to make it photorealistic, which is not the point, right? The expressions that you can give on an animation, it's perfect because it's an animation. Your mind's already taken out the realistic. As soon as you put like real fur, CGI is like fucking indistinguishable from the real thing, and they start talking, but their mouths don't make the right sound. It just doesn't look right. And when it does look right, when you do create the mouths to do it, it's uncanny and it doesn't work.
Like,
Um,
they can do 3D. It's just like, you know how
yes.
they did it with, I mean, they were bullied into it, but Sonic, I
Hmm.
think, did a pretty good job of using CGI and live action to combine and make a good movie.
For sure. Yeah. I think the kind of Who Killed Roger Rabbit, like those sorts of like mixing in, blending in the real life and a cartoonish or more um
Like, why
over the
not make
top.
it in a Puss in Boots type of thing? The newest one that came out. It's
Yeah.
artistically really well done, and it fits a lot more with what you wanna the story you wanna tell.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what these big wigs try and come up with? They will try and come up with novel ideas, but the ideas are just rehashed and repeated.
Listen, I'm just glad that the D&D movie was done right.
That is,
Like,
I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite films. I'd rate it highly
yeah.
though. I'd say it's a really good film. It's a really good found family film. It's really good kind of if you're looking for adventure, anyone can watch it and have a good time. You don't need to know D&D
Yeah.
beforehand.
I would say knowing D&D
For
like,
sure.
helps you understand why they did some things.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the
For
whole
certain.
what's the Rakokra's name again?
It's
Uh,
like Steve or something. It was something silly.
no, it was like it sounds like a normal name, but the first letter is changed.
Oh, was it like Jeff Jason? No,
It was
is
something like that. Is it like
mm,
Joffrey or something like that?
oh,
Um,
trying to remember
I need to know
when
now.
Chris Pratt is like not Chris Pratt, Chris Pine. When he's giving like the
Jarnathan,
delivery,
Jarnathan.
Jonathan.
Like that is such. Oh, we got a raid! Hello, thank you, Carpet DM, for the raid. Welcome in, everyone. We're just talking about the D&D movie, and
Yes,
yeah, the one thing I much love. Hope it's a good job. Thank you. Yes,
thank you,
it
thank you.
is. Where we're talking about Jarnathan and how much of a I think somebody said online, it sounds like the characters asked for the NPC's name and the DM hadn't thought of it, so he
That's
just
right.
said it's fucking Jarnathan, okay? His name is
Yeah,
fucking Jarnathan. And the
the
whole
amount of
leaping out of the
times,
window thing right before they were about to be released.
absolute cinema. The
Such
amount of
DM
times
things.
behind the screen where you're just like, oh shit, I've not come up for a name for this guy. What do I call him? I've already used Steve. I've
Steve
already used
number two.
Steven. What do I use? Oh fuck, just add some random vowels in there. This is Stufen. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Stufen's shop. And then you got to write it down, add it to the lore, add it to the compendium, and then 55 sessions later, Stufian is then working alongside to beat the big bad evil guy. It's amazing stuff. It's amazing how D&D works.
What's worse for me is when I do write down their name and don't remember what I named them.
That's the tricky part. That's
It
the
is the worst.
yeah, that
Uh,
part sucks.
but
It's the input from a DM that's the hardest.
yeah,
You know, you can
yeah,
come up with things on the fly, but multitasking and trying to remember what you said on that's tricky. That's
yeah.
tricky. It's a
If
lot
I
of
don't write
practice.
down the made up name right then and there, I will forget what the fuck they're called.
In the
Um,
first campaign, there was
mhm.
a fucking one of the players had gone, "Oh, I want to get a cake," and I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Okay, fuck, sure." There's a pastry shop somewhere. And he goes, "Okay, I want to go in there and I want to find the guy." Oh, fuck. Okay, the guy's a Minotaur. He's like, "Okay, what's his name?" Oh shit! And I had just made up the name Steve Sugar Daddy. I don't know why, but
Daddy.
now he exists in the world. Now he's there. He's a minotaur with like fucking bright colored horns that look like candy canes. It's now a thing.
Oh, he sounds really nice.
Insane. Insane. The things we do. But you were gonna say something, Robbie.
I was just gonna ask Carpe how their stream was and what were they doing.
Oh yeah.
Um, we really I don't really have a lot of DM friends. I have a lot of people who want to play D&D
Yeah.
and who are players, but I don't have a lot of dungeon master. I mean, you're the You're the only one.
I'm the only
The only one who can
insane one.
relate. Like we're both not insane.
That's what I mean, though. Like, to be a DM, you have to be a bit bonkers.
Yeah. You have to be a little unhinged.
I don't think any sane person would go, yes, I want to DM nonstop for 4 hours in a day, prepare 3 hours beforehand, spend my entire
and
day
wrangle these 4 little maniacs
thinking,
every day.
make sure they're there. If they're not there, I have to play their character. What would their character do? What's these NPCs doing? Where are they going next? Why are they picking up a tennis ball? Why are they playing tennis? Where did tennis even come from? Am I watching the Wimbledon Open whilst I'm playing my game? What? What's going on? Also, is someone else smelling burnt toast?
You have successfully achieved the unlocked the achievement. Give your DM a stroke.
It's working. It's working. I love DMing. I love doing it. It's so fun. It's so rewarding. It's the whole yes anding, I think, is just great. Like being able to get someone's ideas, prompt them, hear what they have to say, and working with that, and then doing that again and again and again on repeat. I think that is just the best thing to be doing, and that's why we love doing roleplay more so than combat. Even though we've done a lot of combat recently.
We sure fucking have. Holy moly.
Well, we have to add the play in, right?
Yeah,
the play makes sense.
Gotta make the swords in our logo make sense. It's the mental battle we have every time to not make stupid decisions. And then we still lose.
We lose a bit of our soul every time.
What was the one thing, if it ever happened, that we did where you went, these fucking morons, oh my god. It can be also in endearing, oh, these fucking idiots. I love them so much. They're so dumb.
Whenever Cassie wants to do something. Shit.
I'll let her hear that.
She's actually doing it. Fuck. She's actually going ahead. She has gone down by herself like twice or 3 times to follow like powerful NPCs. And I'm like, dude, okay, here we go. I'm ready to press the button. I'm the type of guy who will go, okay, we're doing this. I'm not going to hold your hand. You make a decision to do this. I'm yes-anding. I'm not knowing this. I'm going to go, okay, here we are. We're doing this. Fucking Diplord, then the Queen, Savaltari. Oh, just so many like close shaves where I'm like, dude, if you say the wrong things, and Cassie, I know you're playing Thorn, so you will say the wrong things, it's going to go bad.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't think there's been like an oh shit moment yet.
Yeah, not like a shit, more like a...
Like we're doing this.
God damn it, these dumbasses.
No, I think the only moment where I was kind of like, God damn it, was when you guys completely bypassed the fight in the sewers. I was like, God damn, you sons of bitches. You worked around it. Well done.
Just being lovable bastards. It's not being stupid.
But then you decided to keep going. And I was like, oh shit. They're going deeper. They're actually like climbing into this facility and they're going to break in and kill people. Oh, fuck. Okay. I was expecting you guys just to like walk
that was
in.
The end goal.
Well, I thought I kind of like was hinting at this place is really difficult to get into. You want to get in? Okay, it's tough. There's a reason it's tough. It's top secret. So it's going to be like
Damn,
secured.
we did not get any of that.
You guys climbed through a fucking hole in the ceiling. DC 25 to unlock.
Yeah, that's what you usually do to enter a sewer or leave one.
You knew that this was pumping out like shit, so you knew it was leading somewhere.
Yeah. So in our heads, this was like, oh, Max planned this. We should go here.
Hey, look, it was there, and I was like, if it happens, and it happened.
Yeah. We should have been like opens looks. You know what? We're not paid enough.
That's what I was expecting. I was like, because you have 2 rogues, right? You have 2 rogues, and I was expecting like you guys.
Gonna get blasted by a laser if we didn't.
I know, but you could have popped in and then jumped back out or something, you know? But then you'd like went further. You dipped in and you kept looking, you kept finding more things. And then you dived into someone's fucking brain that was there just like laying around. Like
Yeah.
all of these things
That
where I
was
was like,
not a
God
group
damn.
decision.
Still, it was one of those moments that you described. Where it's like, oh fuck, they're doing it. They're in it. They're in it now.
Mine was my players deciding, instead of hiding or climbing down the stairs, to jump out of like a 70-foot high window and somehow lived.
Hmm. How do they
Broke their
live?
ankles a little bit.
Just
I
tons of
mean,
damage.
I believe one of them had like misty stepped right before they fell. So
Okay.
like, and they get another one used something. I forgot what they used. I think they also might have used misty step.
Hmm.
And then the third one just tanked the damage of the fall. They like managed to like grab, but it was the paladin and it was the warlock and the sorcerer trying to grab them. So like the two fucking twinks trying to grab this armored paladin. So they managed to grab their top half so their head doesn't slam into the ground, but all of the legs took all of the damage. Which
Instant
is funny
wheelchair.
that they're all charisma casters, by the way. They don't have a healer in their party.
Intelligence saves, forget them. They're fucked.
Well, one of them did invest into intelligence, so.
Thank fuck someone
Wisdom,
does.
however.
Mm. The
Yeah.
age-old debate: do I dump intelligence or I dump strength? Which one is it? Which one
Yeah.
does it?
The thing is, like, I think about my characters that I have sometimes, I'm like, they wouldn't be.
Book
Like,
savvy or?
they wouldn't be. I wouldn't dump their intelligence, especially if they're, like, educated. It wouldn't make sense
Yeah.
for them to have low intelligence. Like sometimes I feel like D&D can be a little bit limiting with um like those being the main stats and how you play it.
Yeah.
Because for example, like
it doesn't allow you to do things that are specifically like,
yeah,
if you want to be a bit tricksy with your hands, it's a sleight of hand which relies on dexterity, which is sometimes it could be maybe persuasion, like more charismatic, maybe it's more
yeah.
intelligence or wisdom, but it says dex.
Or
It is
like
quite
nature
restrictive.
being, I forget, it's an
Intelligence.
intelligence. What if you're
Yeah.
like a druid that is
Or a
very
ranger,
connected to
yeah.
nature? You
Hmm.
know, why wouldn't you be able to use I mean,
Same
that's
with
why.
religion as well. Like it's
Yeah,
intelligence, but
like
someone
why
could
is
be
it
wise.
intelligence? I
Yeah.
mean, I get it because it's like a lore of religion, not necessarily how connected you are to it in the
Um,
original ruling, but
I think because as well, it's one of the lower ones. It's one of the lower like ability checks that rely on intelligence because you've only got like four or
yeah,
something that are intelligence based. Wisdom and Dex are the highest. Charisma, I think,
yeah.
is going to be like second, because there's only four
Strength
for
is
charisma, right?
lowest because
Strength
I
only has
think it's
one.
just one. Yeah,
Constitution doesn't have any, so it's kind of
yeah,
like
but that's con dictates your HP and stuff like
yeah,
that.
but it's still a stat, right? Like I think con should be kind of used in other things as well. I think
Yeah,
you should be able to have like, instead of, I don't know, being frightened only wisdom, to be at like maybe constitution, because it's like
or a
your
charisma.
how fortified you are, how confident you are, how bulky you are versus someone who's maybe more scrawny than you. Like what determines these checks? I imagine there's been tons of playtesting when the game first came out,
Yeah,
but that's our
I
jobs
mean,
as DMs, is to like hand wave it where necessary.
the one thing that I wish D&D had as well was like some sort of ability to like push beyond your limits.
Yeah.
uh you know, it's a common trope in like especially like action anything
Hmm.
where the character has some sort of realization, has resolve, determination, something that has them push through their limits to do the one big attack or something or spell
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that does drain them right afterwards,
Like
but they managed to
exertion,
push. Yeah,
like
like
something built on adrenaline, just getting you over that finish line, but it comes at a heavy cost after the fact.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I think it's again, it's on us because the rules is written, as they say. You are the DM, and you kind of these are guidelines. These rules,
yeah,
they're mainly guidelines. A lot of them you pay attention to, but it's the DM's interpretation of the scenario and the description and the yes anding, right? Um, so I think if you're a willing DM and you those limits, then yeah, go fuck it. If it makes for a good story, add it in. Give them a little
like
bit of a drawback
obviously,
afterwards, sure, but
yeah,
give
it
it a
would have
try.
to like balance out so the drawback is equal to the how powerful the ability is.
I remember in one of the chit chats that I wasn't at that I was listening on YouTube. Subscribe.
Hmm. Hmm.
We you had spoken to the guys. I think it was Leone and could have been
Probably
Frey or
Frey.
Cassie. I can't remember. It was one of the two that I wasn't at. And
Probably Frey.
you had asked the guys because you do themes for your campaigns. You touch on themes when it comes to stories. You choose a certain like
Mhm.
archetypal theme to like embrace on. Um, and the guys were saying that they didn't know if I had a theme. I would say that my theme in all of the stories that I tell is discovery, discovery in self, more specifically for players, to find that you are not limited to what is in your grasp, in your hands, but it's kind of almost dampened by how you perceive yourself. If you can go over that boundary of like, I am a caster, I am a wizard. I can only cast this spell. That is all I can do. I'm weak. I can't do anything else. If you have that mentality, you're never going to exceed. You're never going to go past it. If you can exert that, as you were saying with like mechanic, kind of going over, that's kind of what I try and do. Like
Mm.
with the characters that we have, um, it's all about self discovery. If you can find yourself, find who you are, you kind of unlock this almost awakening inside of you and you become better for it because both your mental state and your physical state are on the same level and you are no longer suppressing yourself. You are becoming who you truly
Yeah,
are.
the only limit you have is yourself, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah. It's self doubt.
Yeah.
And even if you might be the most confident person, you know your limits, but it's pushing those limits that is what kind of like my storytelling is all about. Because you're always going to be faced with adversity, always challenges, and it's all about conquering and trying to push
It's
forward to better yourself.
it's kind
Um,
of funny that the two characters that I have in your campaigns have
yes.
a common theme of change in their stories,
It's true. Yeah, yes.
specifically transformation of some kind.
Yeah, that's right.
Um,
It
so
blends
they
in
fit
very
right
well.
in. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Because for me, change, like, the quote, change is the only constant thing in your life.
Mm.
Not that I live by it, but I very much believe it.
Hmm.
In all of my characters that I make, I give them one internal belief that they have. I mean, I give them more, but I give them one particular one
That stands out.
that I want them to be changed, to be challenged during their
Hmm.
story. And they're never gonna say that one core belief about themselves out loud, but everything they say to other people, about them, the way they act, the way they say things about themselves will reflect that one core belief that they have. Whether it's
Hmm.
negative or positive depends on the character.
And I agree. I agree. I think change is good and change is necessary for people to evolve, right? That's what evolution is. Finding that change and kind of getting better because
Yeah.
you've seen it for the first time and you're able to kind of get over it. Um, yeah, self-discovery. That's my themes, at least. Finding out who you truly are, and what that means for you.
Yeah, I've seen and noticed it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Our,
Yeah, with
personal
Ben.
beliefs being challenged. Just poor guys going through it, man.
Next session's gonna be very weird for Sunday campaign.
Yeah, it is. Especially
It's
because
gonna get
I know what I have planned. So,
yeah, yeah. The
uh,
dialogue's gonna be very juicy, I think.
oh yeah, because some things that I have for Ben that he's not that he's like literally hinted at, but that's been hinted at by me,
Mm,
will come to the surface. Some insecurities, that one core negative self belief that he has, will come out to the surface.
very interesting. What does that mean? Find out?
Yeah, maybe watch the session.
Find out on Sundays? More
We'll see.
specifically, session 42. That's our
Which
next
many
session.
blazes. Anyway, which number do you think of session will reach by the time the campaign finishes?
Wow. That is not an answer I know.
Well, if we're already on 42,
We are, and it's only been
yeah,
a year and a bit. It's been a year and like 3 months.
yeah.
So I don't know. The thing is, session numbers are quite difficult to pin down because there's a lot of
True.
sessions. There's going to be sessions that will be like 12 hours long at some point in the future, I am sure. Like
Damn, really? 12-hour long
it's
session?
happened before, so I wouldn't be
I'm
surprised.
down for it. I'm down for it.
Like if it ends up being like big, major, important things, I'm sure that we're going to have like a longer session, and it's going to be like big break and then come back to it. But this is going to be like later in the when
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
gets real. As of now, I don't know. The thing is, I don't want to say a timeline because it makes it sound like, but I have an idea of course. I think it's pretty much like said
Mm.
indirectly of where things are going. Everlight's been a big kind of mention. Um,
Great.
I can't give a definitive on what's going to happen in terms of this campaign or the other campaign, but the way that I see things is that the Everlight's the next big chapter, if you will,
Yeah.
depending
Yeah,
on the outcome
definitely.
of this campaign. So whether that
I mean,
means that these campaigns will come to an end and then a new campaign is formed for that arc, for that kind of like story,
chapter of the history.
perhaps, perhaps.
Very
Um,
interesting. I mean,
yeah,
it's very funny because my perspective on dealing with Everlight changes depending on which character I embody. With Ben, it's like, holy shit, man, I'm gonna shit my pants. What the
I'm gonna run
fuck?
away. Alicia's
With
like, I
Elise,
want
it's
to
just like,
beat
I'm
the
gonna
fuck you up, man. I'm gonna
will
beat
beat
you
you up,
up.
bitch. I will beat you up. It's
How
on
dare you be
sight.
stealing stars, you motherfucker? Let me have
How
a
dare
word.
you make Nebula sad? Just out of
Punching
pure
light.
spite. Hey, you never know until you try, you know?
Punching the sunshine away.
It's
Amazing.
not even force damage or anything, it's just spite damage.
How dare you?
Just
Pure
pure,
psychic force.
not even psychic, just like karmic justice. Fuck you, bitch, you made my favorite person cry. Rah!
Oh.
Oh, he does not like the Everlight.
One thing I've noticed, by the way, every time that
Uh,
Nebula is in, it's been when we haven't
uh,
streamed.
is we haven't streamed, really?
When we haven't streamed, yeah, I'm pretty sure
Oh shit.
because
Really?
there was a down session where um, Nebula was talking with Alicia,
Yeah.
and then there was the beginning where
No, she was there
I don't
when he
think
threw up.
so. When was that?
After we were in Vessel
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he saw
But
like the dead bodies and all of that, and then he just walked into his room and threw up.
but she didn't dialogue, right? She was just there and just kind of like,
No, I think she did. She was like,
did she?
she asked him if if he wanted wine, and he was like, "Bro, be so for real. Do you want me to throw up more?"
This is good for you. It has fruit in it. Good for you.
Got that fiber, don't worry about
So
it.
it's one of your 5 a day. Drink. Drink
Jesus.
now. Okay,
Uh,
maybe I'm wrong then.
it was just that one. I don't think the other times she was present during
Hmm.
the streams, which is sad. I want people to see her. She's great. I love her.
Yeah, she is great. I don't want to overplay it though.
Yeah.
I want her to kind of like, because she is chill, right? She's a chiller character. She's not like in your face. Same as Ven's shadows. Like
Yeah.
they're a constant companion, but since at the beginning they were more verbal, now they're dose
Yeah.
because of the chats. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting that you chose to have otherworldly slash patron type characters to follow your PC.
Well, with Alicio, I didn't think that she would be like consistently following him or like always
Hmm.
with him.
Yeah.
He is her like um follower.
Yes.
And she hasn't had one in a while. But I just kind of assume she's like in her own realm,
Yeah.
up in space, chilling,
Chilling in space.
writing like on God Twitter, like shady tweets about the other gods without naming anyone, just
Yeah,
throwing shade.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it. She's just on the exterior of Elzora, just like looking in, just like, what the fuck? What's going on in here?
Binoculars in
What's
the
going on
bush.
in here? They're drinking, they're celebrating. What the fuck? Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Drinks glass of wine.
Fucking assholes.
Look at them in their fancy suits, wearing a lovely star gown. I bet they think they're all high and mighty, literally a god of stars. The highest you can be.
Well, yeah, kind of.
Kind of all encompassing, we'll say.
Yeah, she's pretty great.
Yeah. But yeah.
I feel like Alicia is just getting used to like saying, "Oh yes, I'm a follower of Nebula," and people being like, "Oh okay." It's like, "Oh, you believe me straight off the bat? You're not gonna question my beliefs?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool."
When there's so many gods out there and people follow, it's like, yeah. Good on you.
Yeah,
Well
I'm
done.
interested.
Supporting a small business. Congratulations. Well
Support
done.
your local gods.
Support your local patron. They're in need. Please. They need to give someone
Please,
power.
please, may I have one offering, mortal?
Please, one belief. One belief. One. Just say my
One
name.
prayer.
My name, please.
As you said that they do kind of gain power from like being believed in.
Yes, more influence. Yeah.
Yeah. Very
And that kind of
interesting.
leans into the kind of like self-belief thing as well. Like it's the same sort of like self-discovery, finding someone you can believe in, trust in, and kind of give your power to. Because everyone can like, it's kind of esoteric in the sense that like when you have a really close friend and you're going through a bad time, and they put their hand on their shoulder, I believe in you. Like that gives you enough vigor to like continue and move forward. There's no physical change to you. It's not an actual mental thing that like affecting you, but you feel it. You still feel something kind of like,
Yeah,
you know what, go get
technically
them attitude.
your brain
Yeah,
do happen.
let's do it. I can do this. I can do it. I'm not gonna be like I'm a superhero. I've got powers.
I mean, it's kind of the whole like I don't know if this is a saying in English or I'm just directly translating the Serbian one, but you are who you're with,
Okay.
as in
Yeah.
you are who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
So when you start surrounding yourself with confident people and people who believe in you,
It'll boost you up.
naturally you are gonna start to believe in yourself too,
Hmm.
and you're gonna be more confident because that's where you're surrounded by.
For
And
sure.
humans / other humanoid beings, let's say in D&D, are
Hmm.
made to be social creatures. Like we
Yeah.
are social creatures, so we need people.
Tribes, communities, they need people to live. And then those who do not find other ways to gain this influence. So that's how you
Yeah.
get like demons be getting powerful because, like we've said before, like you can be feared and that does the same thing. It's people's thoughts still being with you, like infamy, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
When someone's legacy is carried throughout, that still has a power to it. Like you say their
It's just
name and everyone shudders. So
like a scarier version of a really bad attention seeking complex.
kinda, yeah, yeah, exactly. You will love me. You will love
Or
me. Love me,
yeah,
fear me.
see how you will play the rest of the Riverpool family when we do meet them.
I've not thought about it too much yet. I'm kind of
Yeah.
still seeing how Alicio plays out because whatever you say in terms of like dialogue with the other NPCs on
Mm,
how Alicio sees them, then that also dictates how they are. Um,
yeah.
but it'll also be from his perspective, so it's kind of like a bit wishy-washy as well.
He is very
Um,
biased.
exactly. I've already got an idea of how some of them will act, of course. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna
I mean,
be.
I've given
You've given me plenty to work with,
you, yeah, yeah.
so
You get
I'm gonna
so
dig
much
into
work.
it. And it's already like hinted at how some of them are. For example,
Yeah.
he's a bit drier, a bit more kind of like just factual, just is what it is type of person. Um,
We're
so
talking
yeah,
about Silas.
yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
He's very interesting.
mhm,
I'm
mhm.
interested to see how you will play
The
well, I don't know
sibling.
if I can say this, but yeah, the sibling.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I've thought about the sibling too. Um, Alicia's in an interesting position because they're on the not on the run. They're trying to hide their identity for the most
Yeah.
part. Like they're not using their name too much. It's just the symbology of their. The thing is,
But the thing is, he removed most of the like memorabilia from his
for
family.
sure, yeah, but there's still like a design to it that just can't be taken. There's a
Yeah.
reason for that. It's because,
Well,
well,
technically,
the
he's not
go
wearing
on,
his family colors. Not right now.
not right now, but he has been in some instances
Mm, I just gonna assume people were recognizing him because of
for the
the
hair.
tan skin, blue hair combo.
Yeah,
Like,
it's kind of a mixture of everything. It's kind of a mixture of everything. There's some things like that are just a part of the outfit that you won't think of, like right. So there might be a scarf or something on a person. You're like, I'm changing my identity. Changes everything except for the scarf because it's easy to use, helpful, and then eventually someone goes, yeah, I've seen that before. That's who you are. Maybe it's the socks that you had on. Who knows?
the
Who knows?
tights.
The specific tights. I still forget that he's wearing pants.
Shorts. Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright. Yeah.
underneath.
That this
I'm
is
just like,
British and American English.
funny
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, he did originally have pants. And then the design really irritated me because of the boots.
Because they were going over too much or
It made him like way too
piratey.
boring,
Oh.
like from bottom down, like because the boots are very like outward, and then if the pants are there and they're like loose a little bit, it just
You want people to know that downstairs is a park.
huh?
Huh?
You cut off for like a good second.
Well, it's probably for the best.
Yeah, your microphone censored you.
Also censoring. Excellent. I love it. Thank you, Mike.
No, no.
Love you.
He's has particular taste in clothes.
Hmm.
He probably has also like 4 pairs of extra gloves in his backpack.
Well, he's going to need them because they just burnt away. So,
Yeah, he did put probably a spare on, so he has mismatched
Alicio,
gloves now.
we need to keep a track because I feel like this is going to be a Alessio losing his gloves.
Please no. He's
And
gonna
Van
freak
losing
out.
his boots.
No, not his cool boots.
It's already happened once in both, and we're already like 30, 40 sessions in, so I feel like it's
When
going
did
to
he
happen
lose
more.
his boots?
He took them off, remember, in the jungle. Van.
That's
Van.
Van.
Yeah, I said
Oh.
Van.
Oh, it cut you off, so it sounded like you
Oh,
were talking about Alicia again.
okay. No, you got
No.
Alessio with the gloves and Van with the boots.
My characters just keep losing like their clothing items.
Soon he'll just be naked. Fighting the
Alicia,
demons
no.
in the buff.
Nah, man.
He just like that.
He will.
Come and get him. Come and get him. I'm here. I'm
It's
loud and
honestly
proud.
fucking Ben who loses more pieces of clothing. They just get fucking damaged all the time. He buys new clothes, and I kid you not, the next session obliterated. And it's
I
like,
remember,
come on,
yeah.
man! You can't keep a single piece of clothing intact.
Need magical clothing so it never breaks away or destroys. Need to find maybe House Relandia. Ooh, maybe they can do it.
They work with Fred Dick. Our business is over.
Fred the Dick.
Everyone keeps misspelling his name, by the way.
I know.
They always add the extra E.
Frederick.
Frederick. It's not his name, it's Frederick. There's
Not his
no
name.
other E. Where do you hear the other E? I know it's just autocorrect most of the time.
Have you noticed something yet when it comes to naming convention to something in particular?
To the clones?
Yeah.
Well, Is it like that they're basically using the same letters, kind of? Because you have like Frederick, and then you have the Rick, and then Ricker, and then you have. Well, Ryder. How do you spell Ryder's name? Is it with an E or an I?
Rider. And then his surname is Note. Ryder Note.
You're gonna need to write that down because my brain cannot visualize spelling. Or say it very slowly.
the naming convention is that all of the letters are jumbled.
Yeah.
To each one of their names. So they pick and choose some of the letters. It's not all the letters. So not everything in Frederick, for example, is going to be an anagram. Who?
Eric Naito? I mean, I guess, yeah.
Eric Naitov.
I give you a good name. Imagine if I named him Tom. You'd be fucked.
It would be Tom, Tommy, Thomas. I'd have to do it that way instead. And then there's one that's just called Timothy. It's like, oh, that doesn't work. Mott. Hello, my name is Mott. Nice to meet you.
Jesus.
Autumn. OTM.
You know, I actually had a last name for him originally, but I forgot to write it down, and then you gave him a last name.
And then I just gave him one. Yeah.
It was a Banner. It was
Banner.
No, but with an H. It was a German last name, I believe.
Bachner.
Yeah.
Bachner.
Forgot what it means.
Was he originally meant to be German?
No.
Right.
I think I was looking for like noble family last names.
Mm-hmm.
And that just happened to be of Germanic like descent or whatever.
Sure.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I need to hold on. I just need to check something real quick.
Here we go. What's the checking?
I just wanted to check what Bahn meant in German. It means train.
It would
or
have made
like
sense.
Railway. Kind of. I guess.
Choo-choo.
I don't associate him with movement necessarily.
He's only going on one direction. That's what it would be. It would be he's rails. And then he's off the rails. He's gone full cuckoo. He's lost it.
Oh. Okay, I found it. Banner was derived from the Germanic personal name Bono, which in turn derived from the Old Nordic word "bon," which means demand or petition.
Okay.
See, that fits.
That's
It
quite
also
on
can mean
point.
like to command,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Wow, past me actually thought about it.
I used to do a lot of that, making my naming conventions make sense. I've given up. Just put random letters together
I
and make a
mean,
new name.
when it's an important character, I do want their name to like have some connection to it.
Sure. I think if you
Or
get
like
too
meaning.
literal with it, you might lose some of the mystique of the character. Like if you were to
Yeah.
say, like, I don't know, my name is Luna Sky, then everyone's
Yeah.
gonna be like, you're like related to like fucking moon shit. Like just very on the nose.
Yeah, but that's why I look up like actual names and last names
Mm.
with their meanings and stuff. Like, by the way, Ven,
Hmm.
that when the name is shortened that way,
Yeah.
means affectionate and good fortune. That's the
Hmm.
main
But
like
then you got
mean.
Veneno, which is the
Yeah,
opposite.
yeah.
Poison. Literal poison.
Yeah. You know, I actually had I mean, it was mostly for my story that the name was mistranslated from Infernal by his adoptive parents
Okay.
and wasn't actually that name, but that's just a little tidbit for me. Doesn't have to be canon. I
Interesting.
think I even had like a original name for him from his biological parents, but I forgot what it was. I think it was something on A. Maybe.
Abraham.
No.
Adolf.
No. I think
Alexander.
it might have been it. No, it was.
Armpit.
I think it might have been Alyosha,
Okay.
which is a Greek name, but I don't know why I would have chosen that because it means
Alyosha.
defender of man, which
Oh.
is pretty basic.
Pretty
Every other
basic.
fucking name means defender of man. Fucking, I'm pretty sure Alexander also means, and like any variation of Alexander means defender of man.
Okay. No idea. No idea. I don't look into these sorts of things. I am a buffoon and ignorant.
I believe Alicia's name means the same thing. I could be wrong.
Defender of man.
Yeah. Oh, I spelled his name wrong. Oopsies. Oh, never mind. It means noble and honest person.
Oh.
Makes sense.
Does make sense. Although I can see him going different directions.
What do you mean? No.
No.
He's literally a doctor.
Hey, look. Dr. Allbear's a doctor, okay?
All right,
Look at
just
him.
because he's got a doctorate in whatever.
He doesn't have a doctorate. He ate someone that had a doctorate. That's what happens.
Oh wow, stealing credit. I see how it is.
It's not stealing credit if you are the person. You become the person. He is basically you are. So yeah.
You cut off, but I'm gonna assume it means that he gains their memories after he eats them.
God damn, why am I cutting out?
I don't know. It just cuts off randomly.
Interesting.
It
I was
didn't
just
cut
saying
off for a
he is what
while.
he eats. He is what he eats.
Somebody's slamming doors. Anyways.
God damn.
Gasp.
No door slams.
Yeah, I sometimes go way too in on symbolisms for my characters. Especially as an artist, so you know, like
that's good because it gives you things to lean on. Gives other people to lean on as well. Because if you're playing a certain archetype, for example, to make it more abstract, then people can go, okay, I know how to work with it. When it's a blank canvas, everyone's like, what do I do? How do I navigate? How do I do this? What do I do?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, it's like small details, especially in their looks and their clothing.
Hmm.
With Alicia, it's a little bit on the nose. Like, he literally has stars everywhere on his fucking clothing. Very, like, small details, but he has them all over.
Sure.
Um, like on his boots, on his coat. He has like little constellations in certain places. Like the little cravat gem thing is a star. He has an earring that's like pretty, but he also has the like eye motif as well
Yes.
from Nebula.
Hmm. Hmm.
Which is something that I want to play around a little bit because of the whole tarot cards thing.
Well, also the eye works with the Twilight Vision, whatever the fuck it's called, that he
Yeah,
has.
yeah, yeah. It
So
does.
double
I mean, it's
symbolism.
also I connect the eyes to like, celestial, angelic beings, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Um, so a little bit of that. With
Good.
Van, it's more about colors than anything else. I mean, there's the butterfly motif, which is pretty on the fucking nose. With his butterfly ass coat. Um, but yeah, colors mostly. I talked about this to you, I think.
Yes. You love your color theory.
I do. With Alicia, it's a little bit more loosey goosey, I would say.
With the color motif on Van, I think it like lands itself perfect for what you have lined up because it's exactly what I had in mind, like this other side. So like for both, I don't know, for it to just line up so perfectly, kind of mad. Um, yeah,
Great minds think alike, what can I say?
yeah, probably that. Probably
I
one great
mean,
mind, yours, and one
no.
yes,
You sell yourself short.
no.
I mean, with him, it's kind of. Mm, the better state he is in, the more colors on him.
Yes.
The more. It's quite literal, the press is press, everything's gray. Then becoming healthier, becoming, feeling better. There's more colors
Everything's
in.
brighter. Yeah.
Yeah. But, there's also the fact that when you first meet him, he is in a quite colorful attire.
Hmm.
But it's mostly just his attire, which is kind of like the whole keeping up appearances of another persona,
Hmm. Hmm.
at first at least.
Are we seeing the true Van, or do you think there's a mask that's there at the moment?
Hmm. That depends, because he's a very like complex character in how many sides there are to him, I would say.
Hmm.
I think he might believe that what he like the core of him is like the worst part of him, like when he is violent, when he is doing unmoral things or whatever. But that's not true,
Hmm.
like objectively speaking.
Context matters. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not even with context, like he is generally a very caring person. He just, it's kind of like you could do a better example is like, when you post a video online, you can scroll to through like 20, 30, 100 positive comments, but it's the one negative comment that will grab your attention.
Hmm.
And so with him, he doesn't really kind of register all the good he's done.
Yeah.
He's only like kind of a little bit too focused in on all the bad parts of
Is he
him, all the bad
self-critical
things.
in that regard then?
I would say very much so right now.
Hmm. But why, if events that took place were outside his hand, why would he be self-critical?
I mean, there's
Because
always
everything so far has been like other people doing things to him without his provoking, right? He never like outwardly did anything to deserve it. Everything's just happened to him. But he's still very self-critical because is that just the way he
I
is?
think he's
Just a
right.
people
It's
pleaser.
assumption. I would say he's starting to become less of a people pleaser. He definitely was before.
Hmm.
But there's always when something bad has happened to you to that like degree. There's sometimes, especially if you dealt like with someone who's as manipulative as Frederick,
Hmm.
and like a lot of people in his life who he had trusted and cared about to some extent kind of turned on him.
Hmm.
That leaves a mark on you, and you question sometimes, is it my fault? Could I have avoided this? Uh, what was it something that I did, you know?
I
Um,
see what you did there, by the way. It leaves a
what?
mark. That's good.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
That's good. Yeah,
That was an accident.
because Mark left you. Yeah.
Well, didn't leave Ven. It's more like Ven was forced away from him.
Is he with him now?
No,
Then he's
because
gone. He's left.
he's
Guy's
legally
gone.
banned from that place. I remember.
I don't remember anything. What are you talking about?
I swear to God, Max. No, but he has like a lot of because you know people have repeated over and over again that you know he is blah blah blah. He is
Yes.
a monster. He is violent. You are, or like you can only survive in this world if you act this way. And if you're capable of doing that, then maybe that means that that's who you were all along, and it was only a matter of time, type of thing. Which is he's not right. Um, about that part
It's
about
very
himself.
Doom complex, sort of. Like, I'm on a path of almost self destruction because what have I got left? And then it's trying to remember that no, there is more out there for you. It's not all over. You can make the change that you need.
I
Very
even think that
interesting.
he's not like giving up hope on fight. Like he wants to
Maybe
fight
reinvigorated. He needs
to.
something to like recharge his batteries, perhaps.
In a similar sense to Sienna, he is willing to do a lot to protect the ones he cares about. Like
Hmm.
that's what is keeping him going now. He unfortunately has not a lot of care for himself, the same
Yeah.
amount he carries for others. And I think he needs a little bit more of literally self-love to go beyond to, you know, become better. He just
Hmm.
doesn't see it yet fully.
Poor guy. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Why do you make your characters depressed? What is.
Uh, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Alessio isn't depressed, I would say. He's grumpy, but he's not. He's
Hmm.
very, in his own way, internally, he is very hopeful and very, like, wants to do things, ready to live life.
Yeah.
He might be
He's,
a grump and a grouch and but, you know, he's not sad currently. He's sad a little bit about what
hmm.
happened, but it's not like Venn levels of depression.
Van levels are high. They are high. They need to
Poor
be
guy. Give him
countered.
a break, man.
I'm sorry. Um, This is what happens when we have nothing exciting in a few sessions. I'm like, I need to do something.
What do you mean a few sessions? Every session, this guy's getting drilled.
He's the one. He's the one. It's his arc. We're in his arc at the moment. It's all on
Can
him.
he have some happier moments in his arc, please?
No.
Let him have a peaceful date with Vanel, man.
Well, when Frey's there, sure, but
he's gonna be there next session. So
is he though? Is he? Talking about next session,
yes.
you can. We will be streaming Sunday. I almost said Saturday for some reason. Sunday. We have a session next Sunday. Sunday the what the fuck is it again? Sunday the 18th. Sunday the 18th. I'm losing track of days. Keep forgetting today's Wednesday. But that'll be our next session. We don't have a next session Friday. We're all busy doing some other things. But we are looking to do something for the Friday slot. So stay subscribed, stay followed to be notified on that. And also on Instagram, social media, you'll be able to find info then. But to give a little teaser, we're looking at doing a slight mini sort of game with maybe some fresh faces. We'll have to see. We haven't got a final rundown on who the players will be, but it will be DM'd by myself. And we're going to see who will be available to join it. But that'll be coming up. And we'll announce that soon, hopefully. The first session for that should be next week, in fact, next Friday.
We need to gather up players. Man.
We need to get our shit together, yeah.
Yeah, we really do. We need to have a RXP management meeting.
Yeah, we need to have an internal meeting to see what the fuck's going on. But yeah, I think for now, I think that'll do for today, Rob. Keep it nice, short and sweet. We covered some nice topics, spoke about a bit of everything, bit of story, campaign. We actually did some campaign chit chat today. I remember last time we did this with just us two. We ended up just talking about art for like 2 hours, which I was completely on board with because I love it. But yes, so here we are. That was today's campaign chit chat. Thank you very much for watching and joining. Again, if you have any questions, send to us. Feel free to add them in the comments. We always read the comments as well as in chat. If you're ever in chat, feel free to send anything. This is our opportunity to talk with you directly, the audience. Because when we're playing the games, it's quite hard to kind of have our attention diverted to it. We do try, though. We still try and interact as much as possible. This is the easiest way to get in contact with us. I have spoken to a few people off the back of this. Lovely people, in fact. Some people starting their own D&D campaigns. Nice. So good on them. Good on them. And they'll be streaming as well. So maybe we'll do a collab with them in the future. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, we already did one. It was very nice.
Exactly. Yeah, it was good. It was good. They're still doing their live shows. They're still going and active. Good old side quest. Wishing them all the best. But yes, that's been us. That's been us, both myself and Robbie. Thank you very much, Robbie, for being here and bringing some very useful insights into the TTRPG space because I've got no fucking. Thank you. But yes, thank you for watching, everyone. Robbie, do you have any final words? Do you have any final words to share?
Oh, I was gonna say, do you want to try raiding someone?
Oh shit! How do we do this?
So you do /raid and then you put in the username
in the chat.
Yes, there is one person that we could raid that I believe raided us before have been in our chat. I'm gonna send you their username so you can just copy paste it.
Cool. This is a new thing. We're gonna try something new.
Just so we can, like, you know, keep the train
send
going.
Some things.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see if the raid works. I'm gonna hit enter. This may cut us off. We'll see.
It will do like a
timer.
Timer, yeah. Yay, okay. There it is. So thank you guys. So show some love to some other heroes, and we'll see you on Sunday. Bye.
Bye. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Also, you still have to end stream after that.
Yeah, I know. This is for the YouTube guys. You're great. We love you.
Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.